Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of it's not actually Spaced Out Radio. It's Cryptid Cartoons with Dirty Fylth, and apparently, at some point in time, the things switched back to Dave. So I apologize, Dave. I apologize, everyone else. But yes, I'll have to close the curtains here again. There. All right. So yes, I apologize for all the confusion there. I pushed the button. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. This isn't the correct bit of introduction that we normally do. But well, what are you gonna do? You just got to run with it, right? So today I'm doing my last Halloween drawing for Halloween, and I got the cat cam going. So if any cats decide to show up, then I can show off the cats and also some plushies. But I don't know if the cats will make an appearance because they're outside terrorizing the neighborhood. Butterfinger's dirty. No, it's I don't know. I don't know how it. I had it set up and everything, and I pushed the button and it went over to Dave's. Maybe at some point my internet went goofy because Fox was having difficulties logging on as well. So that could have been a problem, but who knows? Sorry, Dave. But yeah, maybe it was a ghost. I don't know. Actually, I had a temporary worker at my job this week. He was just a teacher kind of helping out because all teachers are on strike in Alberta right now. So he's a friend of the one lady that works there. And he came in and we were just talking about ghosts and weird things. And excuse me, I had to tell him the interesting story because we were talking about the Grim Reaper and stuff the one time. And I guess I can tell the story because it's, I got a little bit of time here. This was, I don't know, I think probably maybe 2017. And I was at my adopted dad's house and I was riding home. And on the way home, I go by West Edmonton Mall and there's like a couple pathways at West Ed. Excuse me. And I have a swig of my straight vodka here. There's a couple of straight pathways just south of West Ed, and the one particular one that I went down, you can't. After a certain point, there's no like pathways that interconnect to it. There's only a chain link fence along one side, and along the other side is all wooden fences for people to live. So, anyways, it was about halfway down, and there was a guy laying in the middle of the sidewalk, and I figured, okay, he's left a party or something, and he's all loaded up and passed out. So I shook him and poked him, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, you got to get up. Hello," and give him a shake and everything. And he wouldn't move, and so I checked to see if he had a pulse, and he wasn't dead. So that was at least good, because nothing ruins your day like stumbling across a dead body in the middle of a pathway. So I didn't want to call 911 or anything because obviously it was just loaded. So I kind of looked around, and there was no houses that had any parties. None of the apartments to the side had any parties going. There's no lights on. I didn't hear any music or nothing. And so I was just looking around, and I went back to my bike, and I went to get some water because I usually carry a thing of water around with me, and I was just going to leave it with him. And I turn around, and this lady's standing there, and she's got like a really dark hoodie on, and I couldn't really see much of her face below her nose. And she had really pale skin. And I said, "Oh, hey, this guy's he's all loaded up." And she just said, "Well, I'll take care of him." And I go, "Oh, okay, but he's pretty drunk, so you might want to, you have to go easy on the guy." And she just says, "I'll take care of him." I went, "Okay." Didn't think anything of it, and I started riding my bike, and I got a little ways down the path, and I thought, well, that was just kind of weird because she wasn't there, and for her to just kind of appear, she would have had to either run really fast or come out of a backyard or something, but I never heard any fences close or open or anything, so it was strange. And of course, I turned around, and when I looked back to see if they were there, they were both gone. So I don't know. I always just figure maybe like death just came and took that guy and was like, yeah, she just I don't know, didn't have room for me in the car or the hearse or whatever death rides around on. Maybe a horse or something. Maybe a goat with like 6 legs. I'm not sure. But yes, that was a interesting encounter. I've kind of forgot about it for a while until, like I said, I was talking to that teacher the other day on Friday, yesterday rather. And yeah, so there's my interesting story about maybe I got to witness death or something. Probably not. Not sure. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, some people get ghosts digging through their laundry. Right, Fox?
Yep.
Yep.
Tell the story if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, you can come tell it.
All right.
You have to.
Okay, so this happened when I was about
This is my accomplice Fox. She's going to tell you an interesting story.
About ghosts digging through laundry. This happened when I was about 16, and my boyfriend at the time, his uncle had passed away about a week prior to this, and his uncle had always wanted to meet me, never got the chance. So, anyways, I'm cleaning up my room one day, and I've got all my laundry piled up by my bedroom door, and I'm facing the window, which is on the wall directly across from my bedroom door. And I turn around, and just for the briefest couple seconds, I see this figure. And like I can't make out a lot of detail, but like what I can determine, it's a a Caucasian male with like brown hair wearing a white shirt and blue jeans, and it looks like it's digging through my pile of laundry. So, it kind of, like I said, it was just for a brief moment. So, I'm just kind of like, what the hell? And so I'm like, okay. And once it's gone, I kind of collect myself and I'm curious, why is this thing digging through my freaking dirty laundry pile? So I start digging through the dirty laundry pile and I get to the very bottom. Now, this was a big pile of laundry, mind you. At the very, very bottom is a t-shirt that my boyfriend left at my house, which his uncle gave to him, and it was his uncle's favorite t-shirt. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, okay, gotcha. Hi, Clint. That was his uncle's name. Nice to meet you. Posthumously, whatever. So I call my boyfriend, and I tell him, yeah, I met your uncle, and I tell him exactly what I just told you guys, the whole situation, and he just goes really quiet. And I'm like, why are you getting mad at me? Like, he's like, I'm hanging the phone up. And he sounds pissed. I'm like, why are you getting mad at me? I'm not lying to you. He's like, you said a guy with brown hair and wearing a white shirt and blue jeans. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm hanging up the phone because there's no possible way you could have known the clothes that Clint was buried wearing. White t-shirt, blue jeans. Clint had brown hair, white male. So that's my ghost story.
Lovely Jules says hi, accomplice.
Hello.
And that's the story. Yeah, I bet you. Well, Blob's in the supervisor lounge there. Andrew Gnome's Trucking Express. I miss my Blob. Actually, speaking of like weird encounters and junk, I guess you could tell a couple weird, creepy stories since it's around that time of year. But the other night, I have to preface this. Um, Usually, when I dream, everything's in color. I can smell and taste and feel my dreams, and I sometimes think I just go to another place and I just, exist in that place until I wake up here, back here again. So, anyways, I think maybe like 10 or 12 years ago, one of my best buddies passed away, and I'd seen him in a couple dreams before. And each time I just thought it was really weird because I think to myself, like, hey, like, Matt, you can't be here, right? And, anyways, it was on Wednesday, went to sleep, and then I was just doing in my dreams. Normally, I'm actually just at my house here where I live, and I just live a normal day. It's hard to explain. Nobody probably believes me, but that's too bad. Tough titties for you. Anyways, I went over to the local pub in my dream, and my friend Matt was sitting there, and it was just weird because last time I seen him, I I was like, how are you here, Matt? He's like, oh, just seeing what you guys are doing. I was looking for Corey, his other brother who passed away a couple years after him. Anyways, we're sitting here talking, and I'm like, Matt, I gotta ask you, like, straight up, buddy. I'm like, you can't be here. I'm like, are you okay? Is everything fine? I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm just really lonely. And he's like, I like to try to come visit you. I'm like, okay. And I didn't really know what else to say, so I just kept talking with him. And yeah, it was interesting because Matt and I were pretty good buddies back in the day. But I've had a couple of times where I have met friends and relatives after they passed away. I got to see my grandpa a couple times. It was interesting. He always talked about having really cold feet. That was his like biggest thing. We always talked about this. Oh, my feet are always cold. And I was working at a lighting store doing repairs for like electrical repairs for appliances and junk. And in my dream, they called me down. They're like, Klaus, can you come down? You got a visitor here. So I went down. My grandpa's standing there, and he goes, hey, you left your phone charger in the truck. Because when I was younger, he used to drive me around to work all the time, or drive me to work all the time. And like a dummy, I would end up forgetting my phone charger in the truck, and he'd come back. And so I noticed he had this, it looked like an earring, and it looked like, when they put up those like traffic stop divider things, they get the yellow, circular yellow blinky lights. It looked like one of those. And I went, hey, Grandpa, what's with the deal with the like earring thing? He goes, oh, it keeps my feet warm. My feet aren't cold anymore. I was like, oh, well, that's good. And he goes, well, I got to get going. I'll see you again, big guy. And then I was like, all right, I got to get back to work too. And so I went back to work. But I just thought it was interesting because he mentioned that his feet weren't cold anymore. So it was interesting. And I remember waking up clearly from that dream, and I woke up and I was in a really good mood. I was really happy because, I wasn't really expecting that. Usually, like I said, in my dreams, I just live out a boring old day in my life with cats usually. But yeah, the thing with my dream is my house is the exact same except for where my back door is. There's just a window, and where the back door of my dream is where my basement goes downstairs, and there's like a side yard there. So that's really the only other difference. Anyways, that's a interesting dream. And I had after Blob passed away, I don't know, it was maybe like a couple weeks later. I came upstairs and I thought I heard her meow at me. I need some water.
I told you about the phone call that I swear Trevor made after he died, right?
Yeah. You want to tell that one?
Sure.
Okay, another story time from Fox Vegas.
This one happened more recently, and I really cannot explain it. But last July, my husband passed away unexpectedly, so that sucked. But shortly after he passed away, I was getting ready for work, getting ready to go to work one morning. And so it's just me and the dog in the house. And I'm out in the garage, and I just called a taxi to like head into work. And I remembered that I forgot something that I needed to bring into work in the basement. So, I end my phone call with the cab company, hang my phone up, lock my phone, and I set it face up on the workbench in the garage. And I run downstairs to grab whatever it was that I forgot. And I come back upstairs and out to the garage, and I grab my phone, and it's like 49 seconds into a call to my friend Billy, who was like one of my husband's really, really good friends. And like, so, I grab my phone and I'm like, hello, hello. And it's just dead air on the other end. And I hang the phone up. And just like, I looked at the call list, and my phone was the one that dialed out. And somehow in the span of me running downstairs to get whatever it was I needed. Now, in order for that to happen, somebody would have to have unlocked my phone, like unlocked the screen, typed in my code, gone through my call list or to my contacts, and hit Billy's number. And like I said, the last person that I dialed was the cab company, and Billy's number was about 5 down the list. So it's not like it was like right there. Like I accidentally dialed it when I set my phone down. So yeah, I still can't explain that. And I because the call was connected, it went to Billy's voicemail. Unfortunately, he never set it up. And so when I told him about it, he's like, damn it! I really wish I could have heard what was on that voicemail. And like I said, he didn't have it set up, so we'll never know. But that was really creepy. And then like that same week, I went to grab a couple things for work, and my boss asked if I could pick up a couple personal items for him, and okay, sure, no problem. And when I get back to home base and I'm tallying up the receipt totals for what my boss owes me, the total comes to $66.61. And strangely enough, the last 4 digits of my husband's cell phone number was 6661. So, weird shit.
Yes, we have interesting experiences. Probably everybody has had some strange experiences. I also seen the same ghost twice, and I know it is actually a ghost. It was at my friend's place. I think it was about 13 or 14, and I was sleeping over. I remember very, very vividly because we were playing Final Fantasy Tactics on his PlayStation, and we didn't have a save card back in the day, so we just left the game running, and we had to. And that was when you had to rent video games because you couldn't afford them because we were poor. But anyways, we ended up turning the thing off for the night because his dad was getting pissed off that he couldn't leave the thing running and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I woke up in the middle of the night, and he had a bedroom with his brother, and I was sleeping in his bed, and he slept in his brother's bed. And when it's dark and you can kind of see people a little bit like after your eyes have adjusted, I woke up and I had to go pee, and I thought I seen my friend Frazier get up, and I thought I seen him walk towards the bedroom door and turn, because immediately the left was where the washroom was. And so I waited and waited and waited, and then I just ended up falling asleep. And then the next day when I woke up, I was like, hey, Frazier, I'm like, did you go in the bathroom to like whack off or something, man? Because you didn't come back. And he goes, oh, it was probably just the ghost. I go, the ghost. And he goes, yeah, there's a ghost that lives here. The original owner died in the basement, and his ghost is down here all the time. And I didn't believe him until a couple weeks later. I stayed over again, and we just stayed up watching movies, and I slept on the couch in the living room. And I woke, whatever reason I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't have to go to the washroom or anything, but I woke up, and I thought I seen Frazier laying on the bed, and I seen him stand up and walk towards the washroom. And I could, it looked like a gray blob kind of, but I could see like arms and a head and legs. And what struck me was when I thought I seen him walking towards the washroom. Whenever when you go underwater and you're walking and you kind of go like really slow, that was the kind of that was what it looked like when he was walking, like he was underwater, but he walked at like a normal walking pace. And I seen that and I go, huh, I guess that's the ghost. And then I wasn't scared or anything or whatever. I just kind of went back to sleep, and then that was that. So that was kind of interesting. That's my story of seeing the same ghost twice. And I seen a golden fairy once. I told this when oh bloody hell, my pal the Knights Templar Brian Bowden, Sir Brian Bowden, because he took a picture of a fairy, and that fairy is the exact same color as the one that I seen, which kind of wigged me out when I first seen it. But my cousin and I, he came over one day, and we were just shooting the breeze, and I was actually making my famous vegetable soup stock that day. And anyways, we went outside, and we were sitting. I was facing my house, and he was facing me, and underneath my kitchen window, it was probably the size of, maybe it was like about a 6-inch sized humanoid thing. It just appeared, and it emitted a golden light, and it appeared and it dropped right down into, I have a big hosta underneath my kitchen window, and it dropped down in behind there. And I stopped talking midway through, and my cousin looked at me, and I go, I know he didn't see it, but I said, Johnson, did you see that fairy? He goes, no, but I seen the gold color like reflect on your face. And I go, well, there was a golden fairy that just appeared. It looked like a humanoid, like a small human, and it appeared and fell behind the hostel. He goes, do you think we should go look at it? And I go, we'll just leave it alone. So we didn't go and investigate, because I just figured if I was a little fairy, I wouldn't want people to bother me, especially clumsy two-legged humans. So yeah, that was interesting. And no, I wasn't on acid or anything, or doing any drugs or whatever, and we weren't loaded up or anything. And it was just weird because he seen the reflection of the color on my face, and both of us just kind of stopped at the same time. It was interesting. But the next time Brian Bowden comes on, I'll get him to show that picture again of the golden fairy, because it is the exact same color that I seen of the fairy that I seen. So yes, it was interesting. And later that night too, I remember, well, you know what? There's no cats, but I'll show that in a minute. Later that night, I was looking out the window. My cousin went home. He'd left, and he was driving out of the parking lot. And I remember looking out the back door, and I swear I seen like a little gray colored net, like small, same thing, like 6-inch sized man, like run across from. I have to also preface this. I'm really lazy, and I don't cut my grass very often, so I let it grow. I know that probably just kills some people, but it looked like he ran from one side of the grass across my sidewalk into the other pile of grass, and it looked like he jumped up the fence and climbed into the neighbor's yard. And to this day, I actually think it may have been like a mouse or something, and I just maybe seen it and thought it was standing on 2 legs. But yeah, it's yeah. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure the second thing was just a mouse, but it looked like a human in it. Yeah. Anyways, rambling away about things. Oh, hold on a second here. I should say hi to everybody first, because I already ruined the show by commandeering Dave's stuff. But anyways, hello, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking, and Kimberly, and lovely Jules. Oh, hey, there's that caveman lady. Hi, caveman lady. And Dottie French, and Baked Beano, and Kitty Caddywhack, and oh boy, I'm gonna probably say this incorrectly, and I apologize. Savokis Levang. I apologize if that's wrong. I'm not very good at pronouncing certain names most of the time. And Nikki G. And I think I pretty much got everybody so far. Oh, and hello, Spaced Out Radio. I bet you're a handsome guy. Yes, I believe I got everybody. If I didn't, I apologize, but I appreciate that everyone's here anyways, because you're all awesome for spending your time with me. Well, Mickey G, despite me devouring books as a child, and I like to read and everything, I'm taking some language courses online, and it's kind of funny because the lady goes, we're going to work with some conjugations of verbs. I'm like, and at that moment, I didn't realize what a verb actually was. So I had to explain that to her, and I felt kind of goofy about it. Because when I was a kid and I was finally able to read things myself, I didn't really pay attention to all the nouns and pronouns and adjectives and verbs and similes and all this stuff. I was like, screw this crap. I'm just going to read as many books as possible. So, yeah, it's, oh, that poor guy just fell over. Anyways, we don't got any cats right now because they're outside like a bunch of jerks. But we do have a gray alien riding a cow. Whoops, wrong mouse. This is the cat camera. I got to put it on, but let me. Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, that didn't work out very good. Anyways, next time, Gadget.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, it's a little dark though. We should get like some. I gotta get some real lighting for this studio here, and just get serious about it, Jim. Anyways, I'm glad everybody got to sit here and listen to our little ghosty stories. I always like talking about spooky things like that. Fark English, I teach it. Yeah, Big Bino, I feel bad for you. Big Bino's a professor, and he's probably supposed to be doing school things, but he's using company time to watch weirdos from Canada draw cartoons. But that's important stuff. It's also educational. Because, if you can put Bob Ross on TV and he just painted things and people were educated with that and they had a good time, then they can watch Dirty Fylth do that. Yes. But anyways, I guess I can just show the so we have a little gray alien and a little cow. Moo. We just need to get a little UFO made. Which it actually works because I won't be able to show it because the light will just reflect off the camera or the glass. So anyways, I did a cartoon to go with it as a little bundle, and Fox was going to go to a little swap meet thing, but got canceled. And then, now people are going to be lacking in their Zombunnies and alien drawings. So too bad for them. They'll just have to wait till next year and come to the art walk. Which is why, Big Bino, humans are pretty simple. I'm a pretty simple guy. I just draw cartoons and pet my cats and hang out with my 13 friends. Technically, I pretty much have 13 friends, but Fox turned out to be the 13th friend. It was like the 13th warrior, except less barbarian-y.
And I'm cuter than Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. Actually, the 13th warrior is a really good film. If it was, since I seem to recommend a film to everybody all the time, I would suggest 13th Warrior. It has an interesting scene where he, quote unquote, learns the Viking language. And it's really dorky because they're talking about stuff. They make fun of him. They're like, only an Arab would bring a dog to war. And they're making fun of his horse. And then they're bugging him. And he goes, they said something about his mother or whatever. And he goes like, well, my mother was a beautiful woman and she was talented. And at least I knew who my father was. And all the Vikings were like, how do you know our language? He's like, because I listened. It's like the worst writing in the entire world. But it's a good film anyway.
Oh, come on. There's some pretty bad writing out there.
Yeah, writing has just gone downhill. People just seem to call it in. I shouldn't talk though, because I'm not the best writer in the world. That's why I pay Fox Vegas in chicken wings to do my writing for me. Thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no.
Everybody's unique in their own way, Big Bino. Except when I was a kid, I fell out of a hammock and hit my head on a fire pit. The doctor said I might have brain damage. I actually did, though. I fell out of a hammock and bonked my dome. Apparently, I'm calming. Well, I appreciate that. Maybe I'll have to do a voiceover for something. If I could get my cartoons animated, I could do all the voices for them. I do the voices for all the tabletop role-playing stuff that we do, which I'm going to be playing that today. Bobertus and the most Mr. of Lanthervals are coming over later. Oh, also, Martin, if you're watching, because apparently you said you were going to watch, Martin, come over around maybe like 6 or something, maybe 5 o'clock, 6ish, and around that time, and come over and roll some dice with us. Come join the nerds. Live out your fantasies of, having a stable job and money to buy things in a role-playing setting. That's what you can do in role-playing games. Have things like you can travel the world and have a stable income and sleep at inns and eat giant chicken legs. Like Kano from Mortal Kombat. And you have to treasure these moments. So anyways, I didn't even say anything about this drawing, really. It was supposed to be a Halloween drawing, and I started rambling about Grim Reapers and everything. But this drawing is a UFO stealing all the candy out of this house. It's going to be the 4th and final drawing for Halloween, which I'm sad it's going to be over soon. But next Friday. Wait. Apparently Baked Beano does a good middle-aged, balding, fat man voice. I don't know. Maybe next time I do a show, you'll have to come on here, and then we can discuss if it is true or not. And Kimberly Jackson says she was a klutzy kid too. I jumped on a trampoline on my back and landed wrong, and lost my front top teeth and bottom. Oh, great. So then everyone was probably like, you could park a school bus in between that hole there in your mouth. And you'd probably be like, yeah, I never heard that one before.
I got double bounced into a backflip off a trampoline, smacked my head on the ground, and popped some bone out behind my ear. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
Maybe that's why we're the way we are now. Wow. Mickey G's son Brandon does a pretty good impression of Joker from the animated series. What happened?
Kimberly jumped a ramp on her bike.
Oh, that's probably painful. Oh, jumped a ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant trampoline. Yeah, the ramp would be. So Kimberly was basically being Evel Knievel, which I think it was like 50 some odd years ago today. I think it was today he jumped 14 school buses or whatever. Or I think they were Greyhound buses, actually.
Some sort of bus.
It was a bus.
But not a short bus.
It was not a short bus. Funny enough, in Edmonton, some of the buses we have are short buses. They're literally short buses. They are small little things. It's usually the stupid on-demand buses, which are completely useless.
Yeah.
And then when you get on them, you're like, wow, I'm on a short bus.
By choice.
Yeah, I wasn't sent here by my doctor. Yeah. What a time to be alive. I appreciate everyone hanging out here and enjoying our stories. If you're enjoying the stories. If not, then stick around and maybe there'll be one you can enjoy. Oh boy. The short bus. Edmonton short bus is great. We also have those accordion style buses. Those were really cool when they first came out. Alrighty.
Mandy and I spent a whole day riding on one of those, like right in the accordion, like pivots.
Yeah,
and the seat moves when you turn.
Yeah, there's a seat in the middle and it pivots with the big accordion bit on the bus. And those are always cool. Now the buses are, the transit system in Edmonton is
beyond fucked.
Yeah, we'll just say it's unique.
Yeah,
that's probably the best way to explain it. You're probably better off in like New York riding on a subway late at night with a sack of money in your hand. Speaking of Halloween too, I'm going to go over to my pal Watson's next Friday and we're going out with the kiddos and going to go Halloweening, and I'm going to make sure that the kids don't eat any poison candy. Sorry, Declan.
Caramel.
Yeah, that one's poison. Caramel bar, definitely poison. Full O. Henry bar, oh, you better believe that one's poison. It's for the kids' safety, right? Because
can of soda, definite poison.
Yeah. I told Watson he should buy a carton of smokes and put a thing out and be like 1 smoke per adult. You know, as a kid, they told me that I was gonna have people trying to give me drugs for Halloween, and you know, I'm astonished by how little that's actually happened. I realized that I painted over the window here. That's all right. That can be remedied very easily because watercolor is tricky like that. Alrighty. Almost time for the inking phase. My favorite part. Speaking of, I guess I can. I was gonna say, I follow this lady on X, and she does her handle is Fylthy the Twit, and she draws cartoons about this dark elf named Fylthy. And the one time she had a drawing, and Fylthy was in trouble. She was fighting. She was like it's a fantasy dark elf character. Her art style is really neat. And she's like, "Oh no, Fylthy's in trouble!" And so I sent a picture of the space frogs, which are these handsome little bastards. This lighting is just absolutely terrible. Anyways, so I said the space frogs will come help Fylthy. And so, long story short, I asked her if she wanted to collaborate on something, and she goes, "Oh, actually, I was going to draw something and send it to you. So whenever I get that done, I will share that," which is kind of neat because she's fairly popular. And it would just be neat to see the space frogs hanging out with some other art of some sort. And then we'll have to maybe send some zombunnies over too for good measure. Bonk.
Gremlin likes to hug the zombunnies.
Yeah, that gremlin. He's not very smart.
It's gonna bite him in the ass one day, literally.
Yeah. So I went for groceries before I got here. And I come home and I was with my friend Ray. I go, "Ray, I wonder if the little heathens are outside," because they just left the door open. And of course, I say that, and then out come walking between the other cars. Here comes the gremlin, and then he jumps up on the neighbor's fence. And I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing, mister?" And he's like, freezes, turns and looks at me, and then jumps off the fence and slinked away. And he got busted big time. But the gremlin. He's orange, but he's a good boy. A little bit slow, but he's a good boy. Also, I'm up to, I think it's 87 drawings for book number 3. I have a second volume of my Cryptid cartoon drawings. Volume 2. If you go to Amazon and just plug in Cryptid Cartoons by Klaus Meidner, excuse me, and you can get one for yourself and your mom because moms are the best. But I have to show this because I always like sharing this drawing. This is what Canadians do when they need a massage. Oh, of course it's gonna be blurry. Oh, there we go. There's Dave getting pampered by the Bigfoot. "Hey, could you whack my spine a few times with a hockey stick, please?" And that's how you get a massage in Canada. And then we also have Fox is dying, everybody. We also have, where is it here? Here's Dave at the Golden Booger in 2023 or whatever it was. He's playing with the joke ghost. It's like, "Hey Dave, what animal always wins at poker?" "A bluffalo." Yeah. Look at Dave. He's all he's got left is his underwear and socks. Because Carl's a cheating jerk. Unbelievable. And then here's also Honest Carl's used aerial phenomenon. This baby will get you 3 light years to the element 115. I also have Lon Strickler running away from the Mothman trying to steal his beard. Because that's actually a thing. It happened. He's even got his Fortean t-shirt on. I actually mailed this to Lon. It's at his house now, which is pretty cool. Oh, and then we have Dave and Merle Adventures. Look at him. Beyond this door is where the ghosts lurk. Turn on that ghost box, Dave. Merle, I feel like we're being watched. I need my teddy bear. And then there's 2 ghosts hanging out behind him. Yeah, I'd probably not want to go to that place there, Mickey G. And I also this one's good because I got a couple comics in the back. I put a whole bunch of my Skinwalker Ranch drawings in here, which Brandon Fugel's probably got like 100 of my drawings now. Maybe not 100, but this is one of my favorite little comics that I did. Somewhere in the Woods. It's basically about Bigfoot stealing a pie off Grandma's windowsill, and the man in black yells at him. And then we have Dave and Science Bob Adventure. This is a nice long one starring Dave and Science Bob, and Lou Elzardo, and then we have some Nightcrawler ones there, and then all the people that help. Oh, look, there's me. Yes, and then I have a glossary as well. It's very important. So yes, if you can go to Amazon and just plug in Cryptid cartoons. There's 2 volumes. You might as well grab both. If one of these days I'll have enough money to have a publisher, and then I'd be able to just send books to people instead of them having to buy it on Amazon. I could personalize them, and whenever people do buy a book from me and they ship it or meet them in person or whatever, I always draw something in them. I sent a book to Spookles because a couple years ago my computer cratered on me and I was all grumpy pants. And then all of a sudden I get this ding from my bank. It's like, you have received X amount of dollars from Spookles the cat. And I go, oh, great. Thanks, Spookles. So Spookles is the best. If I had a sister, it would be Spookles. 100%. I have to let this dry a little bit. They slop all the water all over the place because I'm a pig. At least I'm not greedy like the gremlin. His greed sickens me. He's been known to steal pizza right off of the missus' hands, right off her plate. She was eating pizza one day, reading her smutty fanfic, Sherlock Holmes fan fiction. And then next thing you know, the gremlin just saunters up, all casual, la-di-da, nothing's going on, nothing to see here, folks. And he reaches up, hooks the slice of pizza, it goes flying, he jumps off the couch, grabs the pizza, bolts out the door, into the parking lot, see you later, bye, and then devour the pizza by himself because he's a pig. That's what the gremlin does. He's not to be trusted. I wouldn't trust the gremlin as far as I could throw an empty beer can. That's not very far. But yes, Brandon sent me. I don't have the book up here, but he did send me. I sent him a bunch of drawings, and he sent me. I don't have it. Oh well. He sent me a Skinwalker Ranch T-shirt, and also the Secret of Skin. I can't remember the name of the book. It's the one that Colm Keller and George Knapp wrote about Skinwalker Ranch. Anyways, he sent it to me, and it's kind of neat because Brandon collects books. I know he has a first edition Alice in Wonderland, which is pretty cool. But he collects books, and for a guy that collects books to give out a book that he has in his collection, that's kind of an honor. So, oh, and also, I have to show everybody this. 1 second here. Oh boy. Oh, it's crap. Sorry. There we are, maybe. No, that's not it either. Ah. There we are. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh God.
So, speaking of cats and stuff, I used to be pen pals with Joe Exotic. So I wrote him a letter once, and I sent him a drawing. The Tiger King. It says, "Fylth, amazing drawing. I put it in the 8x10 and keep it. Thanks for the support, and know I send my love. Trump has my pardon. Please ask everyone to tweet him and sign the piece. Sign it already, please. Be my voice. Love you, Joe Exotic." So I had to share that because it was pretty cool. But yeah, he sent me a picture and junk, and so I used to, like I said, we used to be pen pals, but they moved them somewhere, and I don't know what the new address is, so I can't send them anything, which is kind of a shame. But alrighty, here we go. On to the inking part, my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever want to hang out with a guy, but mostly because I don't like people, but got cat fuzz all over me. I didn't actually think he'd send anything back to me because, a lot of people, they get mail from fans or whatever, and they probably get so much of it they don't even care or bother to send anything back. If anybody sent me mail, I would send them stuff back too. But if you want to be added to the Christmas card list, shoot me an email. Put my email in here. Because I do a Christmas card every year. And if you want to be part of it, you might even get a little shrinky dink to go with it. Possibly. If we can get everything working. But who knows what kind of madness is awaiting us in the near future. I did some drawings of missing cryptids on milk jugs. It should be in here somewhere in my giant pile of, yes, these are the missing monsters. Some people may be too young to understand the reference here. Why is it so bright? Turn that down a little bit. There we go. You know, it'd help if my window wasn't facing south or whatever. But anyways, if you want a Christmas card, just let me know and I will send you one. I usually get them sent out at the beginning or just before the beginning of December so that it actually gets to people. And sometimes I throw a little art card or something in there or whatever. I just scribble on the back, say, hey, thanks for the support and all that junk. But you need like some kind of mailing address or a post office box or something. And then, yeah. I just like to share my art with people as well. So, like I said it a million times and I'll say it forever. If I can get a chuckle out of somebody with my cartoons or, you know, make somebody's day a little bit better because they had a laugh or whatever, that'd be nice. It's drizzling and gray where lovely Jules is. She's down in some kind of haunted forest somewhere, probably in Alabama or Georgia or somewhere down there. And Jules goes out in the evening and prances through the fields with fairies and gnomes. That's what she does. Alrighty. After this, chicken wings, very important. Super Bernie chicken wings. Ooh, is there a hockey game today? I don't have a. What do they call those? The
game schedule.
Yes, the game schedule. Wow. Yeah. I'm just gonna go along with it's because I fell out of a hammock and hit my head on a fire pit. That's why I forgot. But yes, the local pub by my place. They have half-price wings Wednesdays and Saturdays, and they also do half-price wings during Oilers hockey games. And this week there was an Oilers game on Tuesday and Thursday. So I could have had wings 3 days in a row and basically overdosed on chicken wings, but smarter minds prevailed and I did not do that. But if I was rich, there would be signs. Alrighty. Ooh, I forgot the moon and the stars. Almost a Dave Gahan lyrics there. Crap tiger never changes its stripes, Bubbles. That's probably I think he's the second most famous person I've ever talked to. On like a relatively personal level, because I think probably Brandon Fugel's the probably most famous guy I've talked to before, because after I sent him the drawings and everything and I printed a book, he's like, hey, love your book. I bought 10 copies. I was like, oh, neato. Cool. So somewhere in the world, there's at least 10 people that he knows that have my book. Ugh. For my first language is English, I'm not very good at it sometimes. most of the time, always. And we got this gray alien, probably. Can't really see who's piloting this one. Yeah, it's probably Carl stealing candy. Because that's what he's good at doing. Swindling things and getting into trouble, and everybody else got to go save that guy. Damn it, Carl. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Fabrice is sticking it to him now.
Old man Fabrice.
Yep.
Hanging out with his other old man friend.
Yep. And that whole community.
I wonder if they were the guys that were there the one time when I rode by. This was years ago, but it was right on like one, whatever that road is that you live on. Yeah.
Oh, if it was years ago, they're just up the street from my place.
But,
so it could have been, but that's a different one than the one that Fabrice is hanging out with.
But yeah, I rode by this house and there's a bunch of guys on motorbikes and I just had my pedal bike. I'm like, hey, can I ride with you guys? I'm like, I can pedal fast, and they all had a chuckle and yeah. I wonder if to this day they're like, remember that dorky bald guy that drove by and wanted to ride with us? They probably just totally forgot about me.
Maybe.
Well, if I ever see him again, I'm like, you guys want to buy a book? Hi, lover. Meow. There goes these candy bars going out into space. That's this one's an apple. Nobody likes getting apples. I like getting the raisins. I always didn't have a problem getting raisins as a kid.
The worst were those taffies with like the witches and like the
goblin
things on the wrapper, the orange wrappers. Yeah, those were gross.
Well, they made a bunch of those back in like the 11th century, and they're still like handing them out to people.
Only thing worse than that would be candy corn.
Lover, do you like candy corn? Oh, she's downstairs now. She likes candy corn. It's almost grounds for divorce, really. Mrs. Fylth really likes candy corn. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. But she's a cutie pie, so I don't mind. I let it slide. All that poor candy going out into space. Maybe Fabrice is just or Carl's gonna resell it. He seems like the kind of alien that would do that.
Oh, Julie also likes candy corn.
Oh, well, we'll let it slide, Jules, because I love you.
Each their own.
I mean, I can't really say much because I usually drink all the pickle juice before I eat the pickles. So my preferences are, yeah. I think my favorite candy though is my favorite like sucker candy are the Tiger Pops. Those are good. And then probably my favorite candy is probably like a caramel bar. That's what we should be trying to do is figure out the caramel secret.
I thought they did that already.
Did they?
I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll just have to dig it up on the internet somewhere. Oh, we got to do that.
Do they still make that show how it's made? Petition them.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Hey, well, they probably wouldn't be allowed to do that. E-bikes are dangerous. You know what? We sold a couple of those at my work because they go kind of with outdoorsy stuff. And I was like, hey, I wonder if I could get a deal on these. I look at the price. I go, yeah, it's $5,000 for a bike. Nope. The $5,000 is a little steep for a bike, but I guess it's an investment that if you buy it, you have it forever. Mostly until it starts on fire while you're on it. And, you know. But eventually everything's going to be electric, but they should just give us the damn alien technology so we can have portals. They don't have to be afraid of flying because I don't like flying. We're going to go to the spaced out radio thing next year and just... every time I go on a plane, they're like, oh, there's that guy. And they put a tarp down on the ground so I can sweat onto the tarp. Hate it. Hate flying. Just wigs me out. I'm a flatlander. I live in Alberta. I belong on flat ground.
No, that's Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But maybe an Alberta slough or two. I mean, I don't mind swimming in those. But get all that nice seaweed crap on you. And ooh, delicious. But yes, if anybody wants, you should go to the Spaced Out Radio Vegas party next year. I will be there. I will have plushies and cartoons to sell people. And it's your job to buy them so I don't have to take anything home with me. Like, it's very important. And not only are you supporting me, but you're supporting Fox Vegas and her crippling plushie addiction that she has to do now. Because you got 10,000 things on the go all the time.
Yeah. Right now I've got another very specific bunny with clothing to make, which I could get a lot of copyright lawsuits for. But hey, you know what? Whatever. No one's ever going to see it. And a peacock.
Excellent. Do you remember when they had peacocks at West Edmonton Mall?
Yes, I do.
That was cool. We had such a better society back then. Peacocks at West Edmonton Mall.
God, those things made a lot of noise though.
Yeah, roller coasters falling off the tracks, killing people.
Flamingos. Do you remember the flamingos?
Yeah, flamingos, dolphins. We had there was a giant contraption that had all these balls, and they were constantly rolling around, and they'd clunk down. There was like xylophone pieces, and it'd be like,
they still have those at the Telescope of Science.
Yeah, it's not the same. I wish it was still at West Edmonton Mall. Even though I don't even like going to West Edmonton Mall anymore. I go there basically to buy Pit Stick from Lush.
Yep.
And then I stop at Five and Dive, and they still have like a pile. They still have 3 years worth of my Christmas drawings, which is kind of cool. And the one guy, every time I go there and he sees me, he's like, "Oh, hey, Klaus, how's it going?" I'm like, "You, hey." But it's kind of neat to, I'm like quasi famous, I guess, at the like local dive bars.
Yes, Benno. Peacocks and balls.
Yeah.
In one mall.
Cocks and balls in one mall. Yeah.
At the same time.
Yep. You can get your fill. Sorry, Dave. We're out of control here. It's the listeners, they're peer pressuring me. I'm a very weak-willed man. We're all going to jail. Yeah, but at least they'll probably throw us all in the same cell, so it'll kind of be a little bit of a party. I feel sorry for the poor bastards that'll already be in there. Like, here's your new cellmates. We're like, hey guys, you're gonna have a great time here. Yep.
We're also all going to hell.
Yeah. Oh, all your friends and favorite bands will probably be there.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh, yeah, the grass. All the grass is getting all brown and gross here in Edmonton now. Soon we'll be in the wintertime.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's already dark when I go to work in the morning and dark when I come home. And the gremlin and the gargoyle just want to go outside. I'm like, you can't go outside, you little wieners. But what do they want? They want to keep going outside. So I let them out, and then what do? Wander back into the house. But I think the little gremlin just going outside looking for his brain cell. He's like, "Father, where's my brain cell?" I'm like, "Dude, you're orange. You gotta wait your turn to get one."
You'll have your 15 minutes.
Yep. Little gremlin. He keeps trying to go after the birds, but the trees, he just can't get up the tree, and the tree's really thick with a lot of branches and junk. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but he tries his best and he fails because the birds see him coming from a mile away. He's not very stealthy, and yeah, he's got that orange cat brain damage. Poor guy. But he's a big mommy's boy. He loves his mom. Every time I went to bed last night, saunter into the bedroom. There he is, draped across Mrs. Fylth. I had to like move him over because he's restricting your airway. Like, I don't think they have life insurance for cat restricting airway, sleeping on you, death or something. I mean, and he's a fairly big boy. He's not like fat or anything, but there's a lot of gremlin inside of gremlin. There's a lot of them there. Trust me. Oh yeah. Well, I think Skip to Maloo, I believe Saskatchewan here in Canada. I don't think they do a daylight savings time thing. Yeah, so they're relatively smart. I don't like it because I'm at work an hour later, for an extra hour. Everyone's like, "Oh, you get to sleep in more." It's like, no, you're stuck at work for an hour longer. That's the way I think about it. It's just like, is the glass half full or half empty?
Half.
It depends if you're filling it. If you're filling it, it's half full. But if you're drinking from it, then it's half empty. I think. They usually do that in Canada too. They discuss it for a bit. And then everyone's like, just scrap the damn thing. And then they go, no. Enjoy your daylight savings times, peons. Elbows up, everybody. Oh, gods. By the way, everybody, Canada is not a serious country anymore. Well, and also the Montreal Canadian fans are a bunch of crybabies. Yeah. It's true. Alrighty. I think I'm almost done here, everybody.
But hey, I mean, it gives people hope. I mean, some people still, believe in the Leafs.
Yeah. We could ask Dave about the Leafs. He'll just get a little crazy about that. All right. Oh, no, I got a little bit more. I got a little bit extra to do here, folks, by the way.
That, folks, is actually a loophole. If you ever come across a genie and you wish to live forever and he says he can't do that, just tell him you want to live until the Toronto Maple Leafs win the cup.
Ooh, gruesome. Well, if it was the Wishmaster, the Leafs would win that year and then you'd die.
It wasn't the Wishmaster. It was a genie.
Is the regular genies like happy genies or
Yeah.
are they evil genies?
Like the Aladdin Disney genie who's susceptible to loopholes.
Like the Japanese and their gambling loophole for like pachinko or whatever it's called. You can't actually gamble and win prizes, so they have it where you win tickets and then you take the tickets or the balls or whatever balls to another store, and those stores will buy those off of you, and they don't give you money. They buy them with tokens or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's some kind of loophole, and I don't know. Leave it to the Japanese to do something like that. Loopholes are great. Fox should have been a lawyer.
Yeah, but too many conflicts of interest coming up from that. I associate with wonderful people. They're great.
Well, I mean, there's lawyers that associate with persuasive Italians that run garbage companies and things like that. Persuasive Italians. I know some of those people. It happens every time I go out and visit my dad's side of the family. Rowdy Germans and rowdy Italians. What do you do? Alrighty. Let's get my little frame here, wherever it is. There's one. Yeah. Alrighty. There we go. Place that there all nice and tidily. There we are. There's the Happy Halloween. He's getting the candy stolen.
I don't understand why he just doesn't go door to door like normal people do. I mean, come on. He's a great alien. He's got a great costume.
Yeah, you could do that. Actually, all you'd have to do is just put like a piece of paper with a human face on it and be like, oh, I'm an alien dressed up as a human. And they'd be like, wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. You have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to get ready and go for some chicken wings with Curtis Bobertus and my pal Fox Vegas, and perhaps even Mr. Lantherval will come. No Mrs. Fylth because she doesn't leave the house. She's every time she leaves the house, everybody's always asking her for her phone number because she's really cute. Okay, everybody, have a good evening and remain dauntless. Tschüss.